Hi, this is Cynthia. I have a question for you. You unexpectedly run into a widow or a widower. Maybe you've been in touch with them, but more than likely you haven't been. Maybe it's been years, maybe even decades since you've seen them. And your first response when you see them would be what? Panic. Oh my goodness. What do I do? What do I say to them? How are they going to react? How are they going to respond? Let me tell you a wonderful story of something that happened to me way back when my husband passed away. I was sitting at a coffee shop by myself, staring at my computer, and unexpectedly I heard a male voice say, "May I pull up a chair?" And at first I thought, oh, which stranger wants to sit with me? And I looked up and realized it was someone that they were friends of our family, and it had been probably 10 years since we'd been in touch. And he pulled up a chair and he said, "How are you doing?" And I mean, how are you really doing? That's all it took. He didn't have to say much more. I was ready to talk. I was ready to talk about how I was really doing. It was an honest conversation because he opened the door for honesty. He did not want to hear some sweet story about how amazing God has been to me and how wonderful I'm doing and God is good and all the Christianese that we can throw out because we feel like it is so wrong to speak the truth about how broken you are when you lose a spouse. And I had a wonderful brief conversation with him about just how poorly I was doing. And he heard me and he said, "If you ever want to go out and have coffee or something, here's my wife's number. She would love to come spend some time with you. You don't have to do this alone." Folks, that's all it took. You don't have to prepare. You just have to be willing to hear the widow's story. Not a story that makes you feel good, but the truth. You don't have to have the answers. Nobody's expecting you to solve and fix her grief. You can't do that. All that a widow wants is an acknowledgement, one, of her grief, but also of her as a person, as an individual. She didn't cease to exist when her spouse passed away. So now you know, it's as simple as that. If you see a widow or widower, approach them and ask them an honest question about how they're doing and be prepared to just listen. I hope this has helped you today. I look forward to seeing you next week at Face to Face Fridays. Thank you. Have a great weekend.